Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
All righty, Mike, Conrad.
Welcome back. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, Maceo Ward with EVTech, a company in Plano, Texas that has commercial and residential charging stations.
All right.
Later, a look at the automotive headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. We have David Ainsley sitting in for Don, who's in Wisconsin this weekend. And I'm Conrad DeLong. Welcome back to the show. Seems like we're on a theme here today about EV cars.
A little bit. And
having just talked with Summit about optimizing your charging times on your vehicle based on what's available on the market, we thought we'd follow up with Maceo Ward with EVTech. Again, Maceo, how you doing? You guys based up there in Plano and talking about commercial and residential charging stations that are available. Are they currently available on the market right now?
Oh, my bad.
There we go.
EV charging stations for about 10 years now.
Okay.
I know they're kind of cool and sexy right now, and kind of becoming more ubiquitously known, within the general society. Everybody kind of knows about them, but we've been out there for about 10 years already selling EV charging stations, multifamily residential and, commercial applications, cities, that sort of thing. So yeah, they're available.
And are you a level 1, level 2? What levels of charging stations do you guys offer?
Yeah, we go from level 2 all the way up to the DC fast chargers, 360 kW max output, that's outputted for the depot charging, right, to help build out the electric superhighway. So we do level 2 home chargers all the way up to the big boys.
So one of the things that got our attention whenever we were out looking around, you did a project in San Marcos, a commercial setup there that was for a business there.
Yes. Those were that's our high-powered level 2 chargers, and those are used are ideal for commercial applications because they give you a faster charge than the lower capacity output level 2s. So those are 19 kW chargers versus the standard 7.5 or 7.6 kW output chargers that you'll typically see in a lot of commercial applications like that, or up to 11 kW. The 19 kW is kind of replacing that range as the new workhorse application because, it's one of those scenarios where it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. That's tied to a restaurant down near the Bean and Brew in San Marcos. And, so the dwell times relative to the session times, they could be a couple of hours if people are sitting in a restaurant, eating, relaxing, that sort of thing. But also, you want to make those chargers available, for the next EV that pulls up. So you want to be able to get folks on them, pretty quickly with a fast charge. And that's an ideal unit for that kind of application.
Yeah, so the property the owners were talking about when it mentioned the Texas Bean and Brew House, and I thought, like you said, it sounds like it's a restaurant there, but these people, they got like a 5-acre setup there off of I-35 that they're starting to build on. So like there may be some more things going on there.
That's a project that's slated. That's phase 2. You're talking about the microgrid. Integrated system that'll have EV charging stations powered, by a solar array and natural gas turbine engine, as well with on-site large capacity battery storage, etc. So, that's a scenario that'll allow us to be off-grid for the most part and charging those charging stations in that way. And those will have the larger capacity DC fast chargers that will have a 360 kW output, for those.
And just something for our listeners that hear you talk about 7 kW, 18 kW, and 16 kW. Just if I was to simplify it, that's the rate of flow that you can charge your car. If your vehicle requires 120 kW as a full charge, how fast can that vehicle be charged by your chargers? So, because to me, I've always taught people that, if you look at electricity like water going through a hose, it's how much water can you get through the hose, the greater the kV, the kilovolt hours that's available to the charging system. Starting with the 110, which tends to be more the home use charger, which I think is all considered level 1. Level 2, if I'm correct, is basically 220 powered.
Correct.
That offer an upper level of charge flow to your vehicle, so it's a faster charger. And then the DC fast charge, which is the highest available flow rate of charging that's available, and that direct current fast charge is probably the most efficient way to charge your electrical vehicle as well, because everything else you have to convert the AC power that's coming in to DC power once it gets into the vehicle, correct?
That's right. So the level 1 chargers, you figure if you've got a typical 240 to 270 range vehicle, those vehicles, have about a 60 kilowatt battery pack, in those vehicles. So what you want to know, just as you explained, is how long will it take me to charge that 60 kW battery back up to full charge. And a level 1 charger only has 1.8 kilowatts of max output power, right? The amount of energy going through that hose, if it were comparable to water flow, just as you explained, that'll take you about, up to 20 to 22 hours, right? If that vehicle is fully depleted and has to be back to a full charge. By contrast, if you go up to a level 2 charger, that's about a 7.6 kilowatt charger, anywhere from 7.2 to 7.6, depending on the manufacturer. Those chargers then will get that same 60 kW vehicle charged back up in about 6 hours, right? And the one thing about charge and then all the way up to the big guys, right? If you get up to the 360 kW ones that you see on the that you will start to see with greater frequency on the freeways, those will charge that same vehicle in about 15 minutes, right? And so a lot of us are, familiar with the Tesla superchargers that we see,
right,
at the big box stores like, Walmart and Target, those kind of outlets. Those chargers, by comparison, the max output on those are 250 kW. So ours go all the way up to 360 kW by contrast. So you're looking at 20 to 15 minutes.
Now, are you guys?
Wow.
You guys are actually building the chargers and installing them, or do you build them and let somebody else do the installations for you?
We 10 years ago, I say 10 years ago, EVTech has been around for about 25 years now. We've always been in the renewable energy and sustainability space, but we had a much broader portfolio of products, from small format wind turbines to e-bikes, electric hub motors, and then the EV charging stations. And I say that because, 10 years ago, when we added EV charging stations to the product line, we did 100% of our own installations in-house. We don't do the installations, in-house anymore because, we now have a nationwide network of electrical contracting partners that we certify to do our installations. It allows us to, expand our footprint across the country in a much faster, more efficient way than we could have done it internally. So, we have local partners that do the installations in Texas and all throughout the country.
So let's say I'm looking to put a level 2 charger in my house, at my house, and you have your electrical contractors. Is that going to require a change to my box, my power box that's in the garage, or does that kind of plug into a 220 system that's already existing in my house, say for my dryer or for my oven?
Yeah, if you're going to install one in the home, you definitely need the 220 outlet, which is equivalent. Most folks know as the the dryer plug, right? So that's the dryer outlet. The 110 volt will work, but that works only for the level 1 chargers. Like I said, it's only going to give you that lowest amount of output, which is 1.8 kilowatts per hour. Now you're looking at about 22 hours to recharge the vehicle. Most people don't want to be in that scenario. No. So to get into the our initial range of level 2 chargers, you really got to have the 220 outlet installed, which our guys will do for you in order to install that level 2 charger that gives you the 7.5 or 7.6 kW output.
So I guess they would run a new 220 circuit to where the garage or wherever it is that you need it.
That's right.
And then I guess back to Conrad's question, if the box, your breaker box, wasn't built for that, or they couldn't double up, piggyback, or something,
or
like
coded up to a code for that.
Yeah. Right. They would have to do some upgrades there on the box, which is just
either that or put a separate box in to run the 220 for the charger.
Yep.
Yeah. If there's not a workaround, yeah. So that's
typically speaking, it's very rare that folks will have 100% of all the breakers on the electrical panel, fully occupied. Typically you got at least a circuit or two left. It's a 40 amp circuit that's required, for that 220 volt outlet, plug that we would install. And so our guys will go do an assessment. Look at your breaker panel, see if you've got, another circuit available to install that 40 amp circuit in to run. And then they'll run the conduit, the wiring, everything from the breaker panel all the way to the point of installation, meaning where, your listeners would want to have the charger installed, ideally in the garage, depending on where their charge port is on their vehicle, right? Because some of the charge ports in the front of the vehicle, some of the charge ports are on the back of the rear of the vehicle. So, we optimize the placement of, those chargers inside the garage or on the side of the home based on the setup of your vehicle.
And do you offer the multiple charge plugs? Because I know there's a couple of different, depending on who the manufacturer, whose vehicle you're driving. Tesla has kind of a dedicated charge plug. And then there's the ACIE or what's
something like that. Yeah.
What's the other?
You're talking about the CCS1 standard plug, which is standard for everyone except for Tesla. Tesla has the NACE standard, the North American charging standard, which is their own standard. Our charging stations will charge all vehicles, including Teslas. You just have to have the adapter that's available from Tesla. And with that adapter, you can charge a Tesla and any other vehicle that's on the market today. By contrast, you can't, charge a Mach-E, or Lucid on a Tesla supercharging station because there's no, reverse adapter that will allow you to hook up to their charging station. So. But ours will charge any vehicle on the marketplace today.
So I guess that's another advantage of having a local contractor system. So down here in Houston, obviously you're bound to have vetted some electricians and some companies that you decided to work with that would come out, and they would be aware of the local regulations regarding any sort of installation like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're beyond vetting at this point. These are, our guys we've worked with for many years now, 10 years.
10 years,
do installations, at apartment complexes, these 2 to 3, 400 unit apartment complexes, hotels, businesses, as well as homes. So our guys are extremely knowledgeable. They come out, they walk the site, they give you an estimate right there before any work is done, and give you a range of options that'll be so that you get the ideal placement of that charging station on your property, based on, again, the setup and configuration of your vehicle as well, and where it's going to be parked, that sort of thing.
And if you looked at the bulk of your business right now, is it more, are you 70% residential, 30% fleet? What would you say your breakdown is right now as EVs becoming more and more popular?
Most of the lion's share of our business is still in large multifamily residential. Where we're doing, the apartment complexes, because there's such a, significant need there, given the population density in one area, right, on one property, and the volume of the growth in EV volume year over year. We do home chargers as well. I mean, we've always offered those, but that's not the lion's share of our business, because we tend to be more on the commercial end, right? Municipalities, multifamily residential, hospitality, commercial properties, etc. But we do offer the home charging as well. We do home charging installations on a pretty routine basis.
So when you talk about apartment complexes, is that people have to have a dedicated parking space in their apartment complex and you deliver the charging station to that parking space, or the charger is somewhere else and they cable it all the way out to the vehicle? How does that work?
Yeah. Typically the chargers are, placed in, strategic, places throughout the complex. Oftentimes you'll put them up front, by the leasing office, but they're typically in a common area, more so than, privately installed. Now,
that makes sense.
In condominiums, that's a different scenario, right? And, where there's condo owners, then you can do the installation in your own private garages. But with these large, apartment complexes, more and more of them are actually even being built, with a bank of charging stations, because, there's so many vehicles on the road. I mean, there's about 1.3 million EVs in the United States today. 13.8 million, slated for manufacture in just 2023 alone. So you can see that growth is quite significant, and people are starting to make decisions on, where they will rent apartments and where they will reside, based on whether or not there's available charging for their EVs. So typically speaking, Conrad, to answer your question quite simply, they're typically dispersed and spread throughout the property in a scenario like that. So you may have anywhere from 4 to 40 charging stations on a 200 to 400 unit property, depending on the property developer and kind of what their goals are.
And then from that, when it's kind of a pool of chargers available to the public, how does the EV owner get charged for their electrical use within that system?
In a scenario like that, it's really up to the property owner. But all of our charging stations come with just a simple QR code, right? There's no app. You don't have to download, anything. Once you set up your charging parameters on the phone, it's there, every time. A lot of the charging companies, you have to be member to their network and pay an annual membership fee, right. And only those folks have access to those chargers. That's not the case with EVTech chargers. They're open source, or wherever you see them out in the general public, you can access them in that way. Sometimes for apartment property owners, they'll provide a code to the tenants, and the tenants can use that code, and it's included in their monthly rent. So there's a number of different billing scenarios that are available, and that's driven and predicated largely by the property owner.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was reading about the project in San Marcos, that you did put in the EV Swift 1009 models, and it talks about the QR code, because that's one of the things we hear about a lot. It's going up to a station to charge it. the station's either broke or you got to get on the phone to call them to give them a credit card. It's just a pain it's a pain to do it. And this sounds like a much simpler way. Just scan the QR code and go.
It's so easy. It's so simple. I can, I've been in, go to a downtown area sometimes, and there's parking meters there. Now you've got it's so hard to just figure out how to get your credit card, logged up, linked up to that parking meter. I spent more time doing that than I felt like than I spent at the actual event I was parking to go to.
Exactly. Yeah. Technology is not always our friend. Listen, Maceo, I want to thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time on Saturday. We've been kind of wanting to talk to you a couple of weeks now about this ever since we ran across that story. So it was great to catch up with you today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. If any of the listeners want to learn more, just go to evtech.us.
All right. I think
Perfect. Yeah, I've already posted the link on our social media. They can go look at the various products you guys have to offer, as well as the technology and what you guys are doing. Thanks, Maceo. We appreciate you coming on today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
You bet.
All right. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding along with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We're going to take a quick break now, and we'll be right back.
Nope. We got features.
We got features.
My bad. I got it. Jumped ahead.
The features, Don loves doing this. This is from Hemmings Marketplace. These are cars that have recently sold. And what we have on the first one, I don't know who wants to take credit for this one, but it's a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. Looks pretty good. It's got some wheels. Looks like some old Keystones on it. It's all got a little hood scoop on it and things. What?
30 grand.
Okay. What about you? He says 30.
69 Camaro.
69 Camaro.
Fair, pretty decent shape.
Yeah.
25.
Michael?
I'm not a big Camaro fan.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to guess 32,025 because that's what it sold for.
Yeah, well,
Oh, man.
There you go.
You cheated.
There you go.
Yeah, you cheated.
Michael, this one's for you. You're a Mustang guy.
Yeah.
This is a 2008 Ford Mustang Bullitt, and it looks pretty good. It's in good shape. Looks, fairly decent. What do you think it sold for?
No, I'm gonna
55.
no.
55.
I'm gonna put it up around 35. I almost bought one of them once.
Mr.
My wife
DeLong?
talked me
I'll
out of it.
say 20, 28.
55.
Oh, 55? It's 27.3, so you're the closest.
Wow.
You didn't say what number it was?
It's
thought they
one.
were
There's only
worth
one
it.
on the
No, I
page,
mean,
so it's
bullets
number
of
one.
all- oh, okay.
I know.
I thought they were worth more
Okay,
than that.
you've got a 1981 Datsun 280ZX.
Ooh.
Pay me to take it.
Yep. And, it's got 36,000 miles on it.
I'd take that.
36,000 rust holes in it.
Well, what do you think it sold for?
20,000.
12.
Michael?
15.
14.1.
It's close.
Wow.
There you go. There you go. I'm going to do one more here, and then we're going to get into the headlines. We've got another Mustang for you, Mike. It's a 1971 Ford Mustang. It's got the blue stripe. It's got the hockey decal on it and everything. A little scoop underneath it. Looks like it's got light interior. It's colored blue with silver. What do you think?
Well, that looks to be.
10 grand.
Oh no, I'm going to say closer to 30.
What?
Michael?
28.
44.
I'm way
well,
off
that
here.
could be the 351 Cleveland.
It doesn't
engine.
say. It doesn't say. But one more
good
left.
looking car.
We've got a 1962 Chevrolet Impala, or in your neck of the woods, an Impala. It's red in color. It looks like a very good shape, according to the picture. It looks pretty nice.
It's got hydraulics on it.
I have no idea. It's got a motor and 4 tires. So what do you think?
I was gonna go off them because I'm way off.
I'm going to go 20. I'm going to go 25. Very popular car. That
27.
generation of Impala.
Okay, Michael. 62 Chevrolet Impala.
I think if it's the bubble top, I would say 32.
It is not a bubble top.
62 is not a
Just-
bubble.
That's a 63.
This one went
right?
for 35.2, so it's
Yeah.
obviously in pretty darn good shape. So I've got some headlines that Don always loves doing, and we love hearing from him doing them. So this one, it comes to us, automotive news. This is out of Detroit. We've got a theme of EVs. We've got a theme of Detroit going on today. Police in Detroit area arrested 7 people this month. They say we're involved.
For the whole month, they only arrested 7 people. Wonderful job,
That was
Detroit.
the last hour.
Yeah, and don't forget we got to get the car clinic in too.
Yep. No, not this hour. Thank you. They were involved in stealing 16 new Bronco Raptors from the Ford Motor Company factory lots. The suspects are all ages between 19 and 21 years old, according to the CBS Detroit. Police recovered the 10 stolen Raptors. They were located as far away as Alaska, Arizona, and in Texas. The SUVs were valued at $1.8 million. Thieves have made off with $6 million worth of new vehicles, mostly F-150s and high-performance Raptor trucks, from the plants holding the lots holders in southeastern Michigan just this year was reported. Yep, got another one here. This is for Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi Motor Company had sufficient grounds to terminate the New York City dealership after it pled guilty to committing at least 7,939 consumer protection violations in the sale of vehicles by the federal court ruling. They're going to get them. U.S. Magistrate Judge James Wicks refused to nullify the termination of Brooklyn Mitsubishi's franchise, finding ample evidence that the dealership violated its sales and service agreement. It's undisputed that the dealership engaged in deceptive practices, says Wicks. Those included false advertising, falsely stating that vehicles needed repairs, failing to provide customers with legal required documents, misrepresenting warranties, Conrad, terms, and concealing financial terms. That's what they showed in the documents. So they're in deep kimchi on that. Deep kimchi. Are we going to go to
break?
Well, okay. 1 second. Let me get
As soon
this
as you're
going.
ready to break.
I'm going to take a break.
We'll be right back.
Well, you ready?
Yep. Go for it.
Here we go.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana? Stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invite you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In-Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In-Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora,